Welcome back to moveSKILL. I want to talk about back hang. Back hang is a tool that we're going to use to build some scapular stability, build some strength in your shoulder blades in a position that most of you probably aren't used to. You'll see the utility of this position as we go along in our training, but for now let me just show you what this is and how we get in and out of it. It's a position that looks scarier than it feels, although it feels pretty scary at first too, but stick with it because this ends up being super useful. So what we have here is Jim got into position. Will you get into position again, please, just to show folks how you got there? We have some rings set up. The exact height of the rings isn't very important. Anywhere in a range here will work. He just turned his arms back and got into position. Hands are going to be facing each other or maybe facing backwards a little bit. Somewhere in this range is okay. The first order of business, start by straightening your legs a little, lift up. This is less load on the shoulders here when you straighten your legs and lift your hips, but what we want to do first is start by lowering the hips. It helps to do this if you have your feet a little wider. Get them out into a squat width so you have room to drop your hips down. So as you drop your hips, what you're doing is opening this angle of the shoulder up, and there's going to be a limit to that, obviously. You'll feel okay in a certain range, and then you'll get to a point where you just don't want to open it up anymore. So go there, go to the right to that point. Go ahead and drop your hips, please, Jim, as far as you can. What you'll feel is that at a certain point, to keep dropping your hips, you really have to feel like you have to collapse your shoulders. So stop, don't go there. Take it down to that point where you just feel like you're pretty much maxed out right through here. Now we're going to get active. First step in getting active is squeeze these shoulder blades together hard. It feels like shoving your chest out in front of you a little bit. Go ahead and lift your head up just slightly here. Just lift head up, and he's pressing his chest out. Make sure at this point that you're not pressing with your legs. This isn't a lift with the legs. You're tightening up the shoulders, and that's it. Next, he's going to squeeze these rings hard. Squeeze and hang on just as hard as you can, and be strong and powerful through the shoulders, and then slowly try to lift the knees up. Slowly, slowly take, notice how, can you show that one more time, please, Jim? Show how very gradually you take the weight off your feet. So a couple of quick points here to get the most out of this. The first one is, after you've tightened up your shoulders, pulled yourself off the ground, the tendency is just to push your legs back down, but watch, like that, stabbing the ground too soon. And when you do that, you're cheating yourself out of some of the, you can get some more benefit from your hard work here. So one more time, Jim, come up slow. And this time as he comes down, he's going to really try to keep his feet up off the ground as long as possible. And you'll end up deeper as you set your feet back down on the floor than when you started. That's the point. We're using your body weight here to help both open up your shoulders in a very effective stretch, and also using the body weight to help, it's very gentle, isometric, almost strength hold. So good strength development there. One last safety tip here. One more time here, please. If you're just starting off with this position, it can be very frustrating. It can take a while, weeks, maybe months before you actually can pick your feet off the ground. This is normal, don't rush it. If you rush it, there's a risk here of really overloading your shoulders, and there's a tremendous bicep stretch through here. It can be very intense. One of the worst things you can do right here is get some sort of partial engagement here, hanging on, and then try to jump off the ground. Try to jump to support. See that? Jim doesn't even want to do it. We're not even going to show you, forget that. You'll know if you're doing it though. If you feel kind of sketchy and not completely stabilized and you're trying to hop to get some sort of motion going, don't do that. That's not the goal. You want to get the stability to slowly squeeze yourself off the ground. So back hang, good luck with that. Thanks.